Have you ever trusted someone so completely, so unquestioningly, that it never even occurred to you to doubt their love? That was me, until one night unraveled everything I believed in. I hadn't planned on going out that evening. I'd already told my wife, Leah, that I'd be staying in for a quiet night. Maybe I'd finally put on that documentary she always called boring. Maybe I'd catch up on those emails I'd been avoiding. She was heading out with her girlfriends. Just a casual night of wine, laughter, and nostalgic tunes, as she described it. Just a few of us drinking too much and being silly, she had said with a grin, kissing me before she walked out the door. I had no reason to question her. So when my phone vibrated at exactly 10:36 p.m. and her name popped up on the screen, I assumed it was just a check-in, maybe a funny picture, or a drunk selfie with her best friend Jenna. But what I saw instead made my heart slam to a stop. Your hand on my waist still lingers. Maybe we pick up where we left off tonight. I stared at the message, confused at first. My immediate thought was that she'd texted the wrong person. But the longer I looked, the more the pit in my stomach grew. There were no emojis, no clumsy autocorrect mistakes, no signs of a misfire. It was deliberate, personal, intimate, and it wasn't meant for me. I didn't call her, didn't reply. I just sat there, staring at those words until the walls of our home felt like they were closing in on me. I got up and started pacing. Through the same house we'd poured years into. I could still see the paint swatches we had bickered over when choosing the living room color. The kitchen where we used to sway to soft music while making dinner. The back porch where I had gotten down on one knee. Her hand shaking, eyes wide, promising she'd never break my heart. But she had. Somewhere across the city, she was whispering sweet nothings into another man's ear. I returned to the couch and read the message again. I wasn't angry enough to scream. I wasn't about to argue over text. The message itself was louder than any fight. But I also wasn't going to sit in silence. Then I remembered something. About a month earlier, Jenna had casually invited me to the same party Leah was attending that night. "Swing by if you want," she'd said with a laugh. "It's just us girls, margaritas, and embarrassing 90s karaoke. But hey, ignore us at your own risk. You'll regret missing out." I'd laughed and turned it down then. But now, I had a reason to show up, and something I needed to say. I went out to the garage and pulled out our old karaoke speaker, the same one we brought out during holidays. I charged it up, grabbed the wireless mic, connected it to my phone. My hands didn't tremble. This wasn't about revenge or spectacle. I just wanted the truth to be heard. As I pulled up to the house, I could already hear music spilling from the backyard. Laughter, the splash of feet in the pool, tipsy voices carried on summer air. I didn't bother knocking. I slipped through the side gate like I belonged there. No one noticed me at first, until I turned off the music. The sudden feedback from the speaker sliced through the noise. Heads turned, and then I saw her, Leah, drink in hand, standing far too close to a man I didn't immediately recognize, until I saw how his fingers brushed the small of her back, how she leaned into him. Familiar, intimate. "Daniel." I raised the mic, my voice calm and steady. "I won't take much of your time," I began, watching every face turn toward me. "You all know Leah. You've heard her laugh, seen her light up a room, admired her charm. But tonight, I think it's only fair you hear something else." A few gasps fluttered across the group. Her glass lowered slightly. Without pause, I tapped a button on my phone. My voice, emotionless and direct, echoed through the speaker. "Your hand on my waist still lingers. Maybe we pick up where we left off tonight." Silence, thick and crushing, the kind of quiet that swallows everything. And then, like a lit match in dry grass, Jenna's voice cut through it all. "Wait, was that meant for Daniel?" The name hit like an explosion. Daniel, the man beside my wife. Daniel, who had a wife of his own. This wasn't just between Leah and me anymore. The betrayal bled outward, infecting everyone around us. I didn't look at her. I turned to him. Daniel's face had gone pale. I turned off the microphone, set it down gently on the patio table, and finally looked into Leah's eyes. I didn't speak, didn't yell, Just stared with the kind of silence that says everything. Then I turned and walked away. No one stopped me. No one chased after me. The drive home felt unreal. No music. No headlights from behind. Just the weight of a world. She gave a small nod, tears silently streaking down her cheeks. After what felt like an eternity, she finally whispered, "I didn't mean for you to see that." A bitter laugh escaped my lips, low and cold. "Of course you didn't." "It was stupid," she muttered, almost pleading. "Just harmless flirting. It didn't mean anything." "Didn't mean anything?" I echoed, leaning back, my expression unreadable. "Then who is it supposed to mean something to?" Her face lost its color. "Daniel," I answered, not giving her the chance to speak. She said nothing. That silence confirmed everything I already knew. More tears fell, but I felt no sympathy. My chest was ice. "You humiliated me," she whispered, barely audible. "No," I replied evenly, without raising my voice. "You did that all on your own. I just turned up the volume so they could hear it." Her body wilted as she broke down again, burying her face in her hands. "You could have handled it in private," she cried, "and you could have stayed loyal in private." Silence returned, but this time it wasn't uncomfortable. It was the kind of silence that comes after something breaks beyond repair. That day passed in a haze. We spoke very little. I stayed outside on the porch with Milo, who lay beside me with his head on my foot like he knew something had shifted. She stayed in the kitchen, weeping into her cup of coffee, alone. We lived like strangers wearing familiar skin. That evening, a message lit my phone. It was from Jenna. 5 words. "She's not who you think." My heart began to race. "What do you mean?" I typed back, fingers trembling, but no reply came. Later that night, I noticed Leah had left her phone on the kitchen counter. Screen lit. Unlocked. I didn't go looking for it. But after everything else, after the lies, the message, the party, I had to know. I picked it up, opened it, and there it was, an entire history I hadn't seen. Message after message between her and Daniel. It started as banter, playful teasing. Then it escalated. "You looked unreal that night. Your laugh gets me through the day. If only our situations were different. That dress should be a crime. My hands still remember your waist." And then her response. The same one I'd received by accident. The one that cracked everything wide open. She walked into the room, saw me holding her phone. "I'm done hiding it," she said softly, like the truth was a gift she had finally unwrapped. I nodded slowly. Would have been better months ago. The air inside felt suffocating, so I stepped out into the cool evening. She followed, stopping beside me as the sky turned dusky. Neither of us spoke. There was nothing left that words could fix. We just stood there, shoulder to shoulder, staring at what remained of a life we once called ours. The next few days passed like we were ghosts haunting the same home. Conversations, when they happened, were clipped and hollow. One evening, she made my favorite dinner, carbonara, the one she always said she hated making. I ate in silence. She asked if I'd consider going to couples therapy. I told her I'd think about it. Later that night, another message arrived, this time from Amanda, one of her closest friends. "Heard what happened. You were brave." She's been dancing with fire for a while now. The truth kept peeling back layer by layer, and I realized I hadn't been blind. I had simply refused to look. On the 4th morning, I found her sitting on the living room floor, cradling a photo of us from our Maine trip. In the photo, we were smiling, wind in our hair, faces pressed close. "I told you I want to grow old with you," she whispered. Hearing it now felt like a stranger reading lines from a story